Good morning, everyone. So, I was looking around in the garage yesterday and I noticed that I happen to be storing just about everyone in my family's motorcycle luggage. And I thought, hey, this could be a good video, right? Let's look at all this motorcycle luggage I have and how much it weighs and its capacity, because I think there's something that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to motorcycle luggage. And that thing is, how much weight are you adding to your bike before you even add any of your gear, right? How much does that motorcycle luggage weigh? You guys can obviously come up with your own pros and cons of the types of luggage and what you think you need, or what best suits you. But you could easily add 50 to 60 pounds to a bike that already weighs 530 pounds, for example, behind me. And now all of a sudden you have a 600-pound motorcycle and you haven't even put your gear in the bike yet, or on the bike, either way, yeah. So that could be a pretty substantial difference when you're riding off-road. This is strictly for adventure type riding, and by the way, street bikes are a whole other animal, right? You're almost always going to want hard cases on a street bike for protection from rain and things like that, because you're going to be on the street and you're going to be doing road tripping, right? If you have luggage, at least I would think so. But let's look at the luggage I have here, how much it weighs and what it can hold. And also all the luggage that I'm going to show you, we have experience with it. We've never had a negative issue with it. And some of the stuff is a pretty good value for what it can do. And some of the stuff is very expensive. But no regrets on any of that. The expensive stuff is good for a reason, right? So anyway, let's check this stuff out. All right, we got our luggage collection here on the floor and on various bikes. We got the smallest luggage that I have on the biggest bike that I have. How cool is that? We've got hard cases, we've got soft cases, we've got rackless cases. We have all three sizes of the Tusk soft rackless luggage. Let's look at the Tusk first, right? So this small guy, basically good for a day trip, right? And weighed on scales that are not calibrated, but 2 pounds for this. Give you a good look at the back side and the front side. I think they're 8 liters per side. And you got a waterproof pouch on each side. And you've got the opening in the middle. They just rest across the back, across your seat, or rear fender, or whatever you have. And then, typical with all the Tusk hardware on their luggage, you have a strap on each side that goes down to your frame and then back to secure it. So these would be good for like a day trip, right? Although adding these to the top and securing them gives you 4 D-rings here and here and here that you could lay a duffel across this and run some, rock straps across there. Rock straps, by the way, if you don't have rock straps, you need to get rock straps. They're the best there is for motorcycle activities. But anyway, so there's the Tusk, what do they call this guy? This is a Traverse, I think. Traverse Pannier bags. They're the smallest option offered by Tusk, and we've used them a couple times on day trips. You put tools in there, maybe a lunch, some snacks, I don't know. But I've used them on my KLX 300. I've used them on the little 170 there. I've used them on my DRZ. They're perfect for that. So let's go up a size to the Tusk Excursion Rackless, and let's see, where do I have that? I think that's what's on the DRZ. It weighs in at 7 pounds, has a reinforced mounting. I guess you'd call this, it's almost like a saddle, right, for a horse? Kind of weird. But it's this heavy-duty Cordura, and inside I believe there's some, it might be like fiberglass, a thin layer of fiberglass. On my model, or on my version here, I happen to install a Moscow Moto knoblin. What's a knoblin? Well, you see that cutout? it slides over this pin, and then you tighten down the screw on top, and it locks it up here. And then you just connect it to down low with the securing straps. Because it has the fiberglass reinforced saddle here, you're able to install something like a knoblin. What's that handy for? That's handy for quickly removing these and take them into your hotel room if you happen to be staying in a hotel, or taking this off and setting them aside in camp somewhere. Removing these, that's one thing people, they like about hard bags and soft panniers that mount on racks, is they're easy to remove and take in a hotel. Well, if you set these up right, they're just as easy to remove. Been there, done that 100 times. These are the Tusk Excursion Rackless Luggage System. 15 liters per side, I believe. And then you have mounting hardware up here for mounting a duffel, right? So the duffel of your choice. You can get a Tusk duffel that comes with this, or you can get your own duffel. One of my favorite duffels is not a Tusk or a Moskomoto, but it's this top-loading Chronix duffel that you can buy on Amazon pretty cheap. It's got some miles on it, and it works great. If you get a duffel for the top, this is way too big, you might think, but you know what? You don't have to fill it up. But if you do get a duffel for your top bag, make sure you get one that opens on the top. The ones that open on the end are kind of a pain in the ass, not gonna lie. I tried that, didn't like it. This Chronix is fairly decent material. Is it gonna last forever? Probably not. Is it gonna last for 5 or 6 seasons? Probably. They have an air valve, right? So once you get everything loaded, you can close up your top strap here, seal it up, roll it, do your thing. You can open this valve and squish this down and then tighten the valve back up, and it's airtight and it's more compressed that way. But yeah, so you could literally lay this bag across here and you'd have, let's see, what did we say those were? 15 liters a side. That's 40 liters, I believe. They're 15 a side, and they come with a 10-liter bag on top if you order the entire package. But I'm gonna stick with buying my own waterproof duffels from now on because they're cheaper, they're bigger, they're better. I don't know. These also have MOLLE webbing on them, and you can see I've added a Moskomoto, an extra Moskomoto bag here. I'm gonna say that's probably half of the capacity of this guy. So this is probably another 8 liters here. And I have one on this side too, which is the Tusk version of the large water bottle. And you can look that up if you want, but I think that's pretty close to 8 liters as well. All right. So that guy was, what was he, 8 pounds? Something like that? He was 7 pounds. The next Tusk setup is their setup they designed to compete with the Moskomoto's Rackless 80, which is this big blue guy right here. And this one comes in at 14 pounds. And that's with that first aid kit on the back, by the way. Get my notes out of the way. Yeah, so this is the Tusk Highland Rackless luggage. It's advertised as 80 liters, right? 225 liters per side. And then whatever duffel you put on. But I don't know why they advertise it as 80. They should just tell you whatever the capacity of the duffels are. Bags are, right? It's up to you to pick a duffel. Unless you buy the entire package, this can be had as in a package, and you get a duffel with it. Again, buy your own top-loading duffel. So, big difference with this, it is obviously heavier duty. The saddle portion, if that's what you want to call it, is a little bigger. This is my brother's, so it does not have a knoblin on the back. If it was mine, it would. But as you can see, it has MOLLE webbing front and back. And on the back, he's installed the Tusk large water bottle holder on that side, and the Tusk small water bottle or fuel bottle holder on this side. So the insides are still open. He also has installed a Tusk first aid kit on his beaver tail. Now, What's a beaver tail, you ask? Well, it's a center section that you can secure your duffel with. All these straps go to the back of the bike to secure it. I'll show you how shortly. So then you would, stick your duffel, secure it with this guy. That's going to hold your duffel in. And then this is going to flop over the top of your duffel and be secured again with these. What's handy about the beaver tail is once you get your bag in here and you get it secured, it's a perfect place to lay a raincoat or even your jacket. If it gets hot, you take your jacket off, you can lay it here, and then you can secure it by attaching it like this, right? Really, really handy. And it's typical of all Tusk and Rackless bags is you have a strap that goes down to either your passenger peg rest or your rear subframe. Come back up through, tighten it, and first you want to secure it in the back, in this case with these straps. Let me see if I have the brackets that you can buy if you don't have a rack in the back. The brackets are made to attach right to the plastic. Hold on, stand by. So yeah, I happen to have one of these kits for attaching to the rear fender. This goes on top, bolt goes through, big washer on the back side of the plastic, locking nut. So if you have a dirt bike, let's go over to the baby dirt bike here, the newest member of the family, our little electric dirt bike. So you would attach this like right back here, right? One over here, one over here. And it's flimsy, yes, but it gives you a place to attach your rear portion of your bags. And then the load is carried down below when you tighten up by looping through the frame here. And it pulls forward on this, and that's how it secures it. So yeah, that's what these are for. All right, so that is the middle size Tusk. No, that's the full size, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Sorry. This is the Highland 2 Rackless luggage system, advertised as 80 liters, 25 liters a side, and then whatever duffel, and they're adding a 30-liter duffel to make it work out. On this particular one, we have auxiliary bags on each side, probably 5 to 8 liters on each, and a first aid kit. And you just run whatever duffel you want to run. Okay, so those are the three sizes of Tusk bags. All right, Tusk Highland back on the bike. Look at tank bags real quick. I have this giant loop tape bag, which has been my favorite for the longest time. It separates from the base. The base stays on the bike. You can unzip it and flip it over, access your gas, do the things. I've kind of moved away from tank bags. They are handy, not gonna lie. But I'm happier with this Moscow Moto handlebar bag, right? Well, for one, it forces me to bring less crap. And that's always a good thing because you always bring more crap than you're ever going to use. And it's not in the way. I've never been happy with any tank bag. It's just that this one happened to be the one that fit most of my bikes. And I can work around it, right? As far as it not being in the way. But yeah, you know how many times I've taken off from the gas station and left this open? Cruising down the road and this is all flapping open. I'm like, what? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Damn. Did I lose anything? I have no idea. So let's talk about, we're going to get into some high dollar stuff here now. Let's talk about the Moscow Moto Rackless 80. You can see just by looking at these. Oh, by the way, this guy came in at 14 pounds. So, you know, he's almost the same weight as the Tusk Highland baggage. So the Moscow Moto Rackless 80 is 25 liters a side, just like the Tusk. And like I said, Tusk, I think, kind of built their system to compete with this guy. They claim you use a 22-liter duffel. And then you have two optional aux pocks, which I have right here, that hold 5 liters each. Again, Molly on the front, Molly on the back. Straps for the aux pocks, which are being utilized here. Let's see if I have one available. Yeah, here's one right here. This bag is what's down inside of here. So that's your aux pocks, or what they call it anyway. All these bags come with waterproof bags. The Tusk bags, on the last trip we went on, there was no way it was ever going to rain, so nobody used the waterproof bags. My Moscow Moto bags, they almost need to use the waterproof bag as part of the system. Here's our 14 pounds. You're done. And as you can see, the beaver tail on this one's a little more substantial, right? It's got 2 flaps, but it basically does the same thing. You're gonna lay your duffel across here once this is mounted, pull this up, secure it here, and then you're gonna flap this guy down, and you're gonna use these here to secure that. Make sense? This one's broken. Moscow sent me a replacement in like 3 days. I just haven't put it on yet because, you know, life. Tent pole, or tent pole bag is included in this kit, and I've got it strung back here on the back of the beaver tail. The saddle, if that's what you want to call it, is pretty much, I don't know, twice the thickness of the Tusk. It feels like it anyway. It's really stiff, and that's how you're able to mount these things so securely, is that whole saddle is a key part of this, right? They operate basically the same way as the Tusk. You have securing, I mean, look at this compared to what's on the Tusk, right? I mean, there's a reason this is twice as much. The material is thicker. What's crazy is it doesn't weigh anymore. I don't understand how they did that, but they did it. So yeah, better mounting hardware. You can get it snugged down pretty tight. There's the knoblin right there. All my bikes have knoblins already on them. The knoblin on the GS is right there. I just popped this plastic piece off. There's a knoblin on the DRZ. I have not put a knoblin on the Ibex, but I will. So yeah, here we go. Moscow Moto Rackless 80. I love them. They're my favorite bag of all the bags I own. They're just good. All right, so now let's move on to something that, and I understand the pros and cons of hard bags or regular Pannier mount bags versus Rackless. One thing to consider when we're talking about these new style of Rackless bags is, you remember the old ones that just had a strap that went across the seat and they didn't secure very well and they flopped around? Those things gave Rackless bags a bad name. If they work for you, great, but they're basically pieces of crap. Especially if you're gonna go off-road and bounce around. You can make it work on a street bike, but yeah, they were bad. And like I said, they gave Rackless bags a really bad name. Don't confuse these with that type of bag, because that is not what these are. These actually secure down very, very secure on whichever bike you mount them on. They work really, really good. Let's move the baby Tusk out of the way. Put it on the baby bike. And like, it's also an extension cord holder. Pretty handy, huh? So let's look at these other Moscow Moto bags here. The Panniers, what are they called? The backcountries, I believe? Moscow Moto backcountry Pannier kit. And this kit comes in at 28 pounds. Those are like 14 pounds a piece. But you need a rack, right? And you need mounting hardware. So this is part of the mounting hardware that comes with that, but you need a flat surface rack like this to clamp it to. You can see my auxiliary tank is here. I was able to get everything to fit, which was very cool, in my opinion, because it's exactly what I needed for the trips that I take on this monster. So thinking you're getting into, soft panniers in there, they're going to be lighter. They're not going to be, well, they're going to be a little lighter, but not much lighter. Because you're already, like I said, you're looking at 28 pounds. And then I just threw 10 pounds out there for a rack number, because I found racks weigh anywhere from 7 to 14 pounds. So 10. That range is so wide because of the materials used. The more money you spend, you're more than likely going to get chrome moly racks, which is much lighter and much stronger than just mild steel. That's why some racks are, $99 and some racks are $400 or more. It goes back to that, you get what you pay for thing. But anyway, so here is the backcountry 35 liter. You can get this in a 25 and a 35 liter. I bought two 35 liters. Typically on a Beamer, you have a thinner bag on one side because the exhaust is over there. But I thought, why would I spend the same money on a smaller bag when I could just cinch this one up tighter? I can just take care of that issue myself by not making this one as full and tightening it up. So yeah, we have 2 bags that hold 35 liters, and then I have 4 ox packs on here, 1 on each end of the bag, and they're I think 5 liters a piece. I mean, so in ox packs alone, I've got like 20 more liters. So what do we have here? 35, 35. You know what that equals? That equals too much stuff is what that equals. But yeah, these are incredibly nice bags, and they probably should be for how much they cost. And each bag, sorry, get this undone. It's kind of hard to do some of this stuff with one hand. But anyway, these 2 straps here unfold, and then you unclip that, and this is a beaver tail built into each one, right? Look at that. So in here, and there's mounts in there. You know what? Hold on. Let me just pause this. Okay, we're back. So got it unhooked. It's one of these kind of hooks, right? Anyway, so yeah, look at this beaver tail unfolds here, and look, oh, I caught a monarch. Oh, last trip. Anyway, there's a pocket in here. There's webbing. You can put, I believe, some people put like their axe or their saw or whatever in here, and then you can just cinch it back down. And you have one of these on each side. Of course, that's going to make it wider and add more weight, but you know, name of the game, right? You want to carry weight. Actually, the name of the game for me is to carry as little weight as possible. These are black inside, but they come with a bright orange liner that goes in here so you can actually see inside. I didn't run the liner because there was not going to be any rain, and I just didn't want to mess with it. But the liner, hold on, let me grab one to show you. So here are the liners. And you can see they match on the outside, and then when you open them up, yay, visibility, bright orange on the inside, so you can find all your stuff you brought that you didn't use. And it's going to be a lot until you get it figured out. In fact, I think I'm going to end the video by talking about Mike's lightweight camping stuff. Is in one, oh, that's up there. But yeah, so 35 liters a side, 4 ox packs at 5 liters each. That's another 20. That's 70. That's 90. Like I said, it's too much stuff. If you fill all this up, it's too much stuff. And you add a duffel to the top that holds 30 to 40 more liters, too much stuff. You're bringing too much crap, man. But anyway, some people do that. You know, I'm able to get away with less than 20 pounds of gear because I'm not much on cooking, man. I'll take a mountain house meal and boil some water in my jet boil and call it good. And then just get a meal at a restaurant. And if there's no restaurants, obviously I can go for 3 or 4 days eating mountain house meals before my blood pressure skyrockets and I die. But you know, that's a different story. So now we're we're on the heaviest of the possibilities. And when I mentioned earlier that you could literally add 50 to 60 pounds to a bike that already weighs 530-ish, 540-ish, or 420-ish, you know, that's going to turn an Ibex into a 500-pound bike. It's going to turn the GS here into a 600-pound bike before you even add your gear. Something to think about. It really is. But these guys are 43 pounds, and I threw that random 10-pound number in there for racks. But that includes a top case. So, you know, there's that, right? For their size, they're actually fairly lightweight. These are GB Trekkers. They are waterproof. They have quick mount attachments. I can probably show you how that works. I think I put the attachments inside. These were on the Beamer until I switched to the backcountries. So yeah, this will mount on your rack, right? And those little claws there grab these fittings. But yeah, these probably have more miles on them than anything else I own. Maybe not. Those have been on quite a few trips. I bought these for when we did a lot of two-up traveling, me and my wife. And that's why I mounted this SW Motec tank bag to the top of that one. That's her purse, right? She can just pull the little red lever on the front, pop it off, put it on. She can access it while we're on the bike. And all the good things. Of course, Probably the best thing about hard cases, you can decorate them up with all your stickers. Because stickers are important. Yeah, we got stickers all over. What do we got here? Right. We got Marine Second Air Wing. And all the things. But yeah, so yes, hard cases are awesome for keeping things protected and dry. But they're not awesome when they're laying on your leg. And they're really not awesome for trying to trail ride and fit between two narrow trees, right? or whatever obstacle you may come across. These are good if you're staying on the street. I just don't anymore when you have bags like these or bags like these available to you. There's really no reason to be going off-road with bags like that. There just really isn't. These are GB Trekkers, by the way. I believe. What's the sizes on these guys? I think they're all about 13 pounds each, which is kind of funny because the 46 liter, yeah, it's a 40. The big guy down there with the purse is a 46 liter. This guy is a 33 liter, or 35 liter, sorry. It's a skinny one that goes on the exhaust side. And then that's a 33 liter top box. It's all a matching set. The keys all match. It comes with the key kits for the tumblers. You get to do all that stuff if you make one key fit all three pieces, right? You can lock them on the bike. You can just lock them on the bike and clip that down the first clip. I don't think that's going to open. That way you don't have to unlock the box every time you want to get in. And then when it's time to go in for the night, you pop them off, take them into the hotel, do your thing, and everybody's happy. So, yeah, those are all the bags that I have. And, or I have available to kind of review and show you their sizes, how they mount, what you can fit in them, and price, right? Price, GB Trekkers. I think this set with the racks for this bike and the Africa Twin, I want to say it's $1,500. That set with 4 aux packs, $1,200. This guy's sitting at right, what, 800, 850? I think that's 600. And that's maybe 300 to 400 with, these are kits, right? They come with duffels for that price. That's everything you need. And then the little guy, I think he might be $100. I don't know. I'll put affiliate links for everything that I have in here that's available on Amazon. And you can go click on those links and you're not going to get a discount, but I'll get a little bit of a commission if you happen to buy something using one of my affiliate links. But yeah, let's, we were talking about traveling light. Let's look at what I'm down to as far as traveling light. Hold on. Here is what I consider my ultra lightweight camping gear, right? So starting over here, we have the Sundick. It's a hammer, it's a pry bar, and don't pry too hard. We were trying to fix something on a broken bike, but anyway. So yeah, it's a hammer. It's got a claw. It's not heavy, but you can, pound the crap out of some tent stakes with it. We have a mossy oak saw. We have a titanium trench tool, which I can open and show you because it's never been used. Yep. You just don't have to poop in the woods as much as you think you do. Been camping in the woods for, I don't know, 40 years, for 35, 40 years. Pooped in the woods twice. We have a flex tail inflator for our air mattress. We have a Whisper Light, MSR Whisper Light, and a titanium cook kit all in here. There might even be the small fuel in here because it feels like it's got enough weight to it. There could be fuel. We have a pillow. Gotta have that. I still have tags on it. That's funny. I'm hauling that tag all over the Southwest. We have, basically, this is a thermal light. It's a sock that I put over my Repeat SL insulated mattress to give me like a sheet to sleep on, right? This is more or less this guy, sorry. This is more or less my sheet. And the reason I have that, we'll get to in a second. This is my Big Agnes copper spur HV. I messed up when I ordered this. I didn't tell them I wanted the bike version, so I didn't get the little pouch with all the cool stuff. And I was bummed because I contacted Big Agnes. I'm like, can I have a pouch? They said, no, we don't sell it separately. So, yeah, I'm stuck with this. What I do is I put it in a compression sack and get it down to about that big. And then the poles go on a tent pole bag. This is my sleeping bag. And it's an Ember down quilt, basically. Good to 30F, I don't know. Could be. I think I've never had it down that low. This is my Nemo Moonlight reclining chair, as seen, on Dork in the Roads videos. All this stuff can be had at Moto Camp Nerd as well, right? Some of the stuff I got on Amazon, some I got from Moto Camp Nerd. These are my shoes. I think these came from Amazon. Camp shoes. They weigh nothing. You can fold them up, bend them, destroy them. You can't hurt them. This is something new. It's only been on one trip. And it's a folding hat. Look at that. Yeah? Pretty cool. I think this is on Moto Camp Nerd as well. And then a headlight. So basically it's my house and my kitchen and my bedroom right here. Right? And it comes in at a whopping 14 pounds. My gear weighs less than the bags that I'm putting it in. Wrap your head around that. So obviously I'm going to need water, I'm going to need food, I'm going to need a first aid kit and tools. So, that's going to bump me up maybe another 15 to 20 pounds, if that. So I might have 30 pounds of gear total. Clothes and food. I don't take that many clothes anymore. I take maybe one extra t-shirt, maybe 2 extra underwears, and I wear the same clothes when we're adventure riding. And we smell good at the end of the ride, but you know what? I'd rather ride a light bike than a heavy bike with a bunch of crap on it. That's just the way I've evolved as far as my riding goes. Oh, and I found these inside one of the waterproof duffels. This is the Tusk bags that go in. You see they're a nice bright color so that when you're peeking inside, you can find what you're looking for. This is the set that I believe that comes with the larger Tusk set there. But the same kind of bags come with those bags. So, yeah, it's handy that they make them brightly colored so that you can find your stuff inside. You know what? All 4 bags might be, no, that's just 2. But yeah. So yeah, 13 to 15 pounds for this stuff. Then, like I said, add your tools, add your first aid, add anything else you might want to bring. But remember, if you go do this enough, and every time you come back and to the side, you say, I didn't use this. I didn't use this. And you look at it and go, will I ever use it? Probably not. Move it over. Will I ever use it? Maybe. Keep it in the middle. And then work your way down to the stuff that you use every single time you go. This gets used every single time I go camping. All of this stuff. So it always goes, right? But yeah, you'll get yourself down to less than 20 pounds of gear in no time if you do that. I mean, I don't know. I see guys with another video I want to do, right? Different types of GS owners. And I'm thinking about this, of course, as I'm riding to work, because you've got the guys who, more than anything, they just like wearing a $35,000 boot, hiking boot in public. And they've got a mountain of bags on it, and they've got 18,000 landing lights on it. The bike probably weighs 800 pounds with all the crap they put on it. And then they have street tires because obviously they're never going to leave the pavement. I mean, that's okay. If that works for them, that's fine. But I would have bought an RT. I mean, GSs are cool, but if I'm going to stay on the street, I'll just get a street bike, right? I don't know. But yeah, that's another video at another time. We'll talk about the different classifications of GS riders. But yeah, lightweight gear makes everything else easier. It really does. So if you guys stuck with me and made it this far, I appreciate it. And you guys ride safe, camp safe, have fun, try to camp light. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Haven't found any camels yet, but we out here.